Hey Scully subscribers, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how I was homeschooled and now making it. So let's get started. So yes, there's a lot of misconceptions about being homeschooled. A couple of them being we don't have any friends, we can't socialize, we have no structure, we're not really learning, everything is just la-di-da, like I decide I'm not doing school today, I'm not going to do school. So yes, but these are false misconceptions, so these are completely not true. However, within just like living in this world, we are influenced by certain things. So I know growing up, I was definitely influenced by certain people, making me feel like, oh my gosh, being homeschooled is not so amazing. So yeah, that definitely affected me. And one particular time that affected me was, I think I was in my either junior, senior year, and I was kind of, thinking about maybe going to college. But I really was hesitant because I was feeling like, oh my gosh, since all these homeschoolers can't really do everything, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it in college. It wasn't until my big brother, he got accepted into Arizona Christian University, and he began to just be amazing, really just thrive at the college. All the professors loved him. He had a great group of community friends, and so he actually became an inspiration to me. Letting me know like, hey, homeschoolers, you could be homeschooled and now making it. And so he definitely made a positive impact in my life, just like showing me like, oh my gosh, like homeschoolers can go to college, they can go to trade school, they can get a steady job and be dedicated. And that encouraged me. So this video, I hope will encourage you. If you have some negative Nancy's or negative Nates that is in your life saying, oh, you're homeschooled, you can't really do that, you're not really doing it, you can. And here's a video that I'm going to be showing you how I am actually homeschooled and making it. How I was homeschooled and making it. I'm not a homeschooler anymore. But a couple months ago, I finished my first year at college, which has been, oh my gosh, just so much revelation. Just a lot of growth in Christ, in myself, and just community, and navigating work and school. So just a lot of different things that went into the picture. But the biggest things I want to address is those false misconceptions and how I am breaking those misconceptions. So I just wrote down 3 of them that kind of came to my mind right away. So if you're homeschooled, you may have heard people, you're not really learning. I know if people don't really understand how homeschool kind of goes, they kind of put their own thoughts into it and project things that's just not true. So even if it doesn't look like the normal classroom setting, like being in front of a teacher with 25 other students, homeschoolers are definitely still learning. And so I graduated with a pretty high GPA, which I'm super excited. This is not to brag, but it is just to say, hey, you can be homeschooled and making it. And so it is being a good student is not dependent on whether you're homeschooled, private schooled, or in public school. It is dependent on what is your discipline. How are you sacrificing your time to study? How are you doing this and that? So obviously, if you're not studying, not doing well in your classes, then you're not going to be the best student, whether you're homeschooled or not. But let's say if you are, if you're studying, really clocking in, like the proceeds of your discipline are going to be showing like, oh my gosh, her discipline is very, very good, or his discipline is very good. So I think that's one of the biggest things in college I was nervous about was, oh my gosh, that was a bug, that was crazy. But I think that was one of the biggest like worries I had coming here, like thinking like, oh my gosh, like the academic side is too much, like I'm gonna fail all my classes, I won't know anything. Like I was really just letting those negative thoughts get to me. But you guys, I made sure to not let what people define me. After a couple weeks getting into college at first, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna study and clock in, and even if I do fail a class, at least I failed trying. So you guys, I literally clocked in study sessions every night, and guys, like I honestly did amazing in all my classes. Like I said, this is not to brag. I'm actually super proud of this accomplishment. But the biggest worry turned into my biggest victory. I made it to the provost list, which is like a keeping a high GPA as it's like an award for keeping a high GPA as a freshman. And so I made it to the provost list. I got to go do this event and everything, but it was just so inspiring for me to see like, oh my gosh, like I was really homeschooled, and actually homeschool prepared me for sticking to a schedule, for studying, for getting into groups to bounce ideas off of, saying, hey, does this paper sound good? Does this sound good? And so honestly, that was one of my biggest accomplishments. So it's crazy. Yes, like I said, my biggest worry turned out to be my biggest victory. So the next false misconception is we have no friends. We will have no friends. We don't know how to socialize, whatever, yada, yada, yada. You guys, you know what's so funny? I'm actually socializing right now. Now, granted, it's to a camera and not necessarily people, but you know, I think homeschoolers definitely can socialize, unless like you're literally like mute, like you can't, I don't know, like we can be socialized. I don't know kind of what people's thought process goes with that. But no, you guys, like I said, I've gotten into so many like study groups, which have become my like accountability partners to like, hey, does this assignment do or is it not? And I've honestly become friends with them just because we've studied so much, and I leaned on them so much, they leaned on me. And so, oh yes, oh no, you can definitely you could have been homeschooled, and when you come to college, have so much community, have so much friends and accountability partners. So I'm definitely living proof of that. I literally still have people's numbers saved. I have like some friends' names saved, and like with a little asterisk, I'll be like study buddy. And so, yeah, no, you definitely can have community if you're homeschooled, if you were homeschooled. So that should not be a worry at all. If you're kind of thinking like, hey, I want to go to trade school, I want to go into this job, but you know, homeschoolers don't socialize, we're just too awkward. I'm like, no, everyone is awkward, but that does not stop you from getting into community and finding friends, because I have found some really, really great people, and I'm still finding great people as the years are to come. So yeah, so that is definitely something that the bell tower definitely agrees. That is definitely something that I'm definitely also proud of, just kind of leaning on other people and not trying to like take it on my own and being like, oh, I have to just study by myself, I have to only do this by myself, because college is about community, especially if you're on campus. So yeah. And the second one is no structure. This is the most false misconception about being homeschooled and stuff, like, oh, there's no structure. You guys could just wake up in your pajamas and you can do school, and you guys won't really know how to do anything when you get to adulthood. Okay, I must admit, sometimes we did school in our PJs, which is like super cool. But my mom was very structured based. Growing up as a child, we woke up at like 8 every day. We had to definitely brush teeth, get dressed before we got our day started. And even with that, like she had our class starts at 8. So for me, my homeschool journey was definitely more structured based, because my mom was like, she's like, sometimes we could have like pajama days, but it was definitely more structured. But even if it wasn't, you guys, that does not mean homeschoolers like, oh my gosh, we don't have structure. Our structure just doesn't fit in the side of a box of a school system, which is fine. Even if you're in school, like that's your school system. But homeschooler school systems definitely they could be altered a little bit, and they're definitely different. As long as we complete, I believe it's 180 days of school, then we're doing school. And so it doesn't matter if we only do school Monday, Wednesday, Friday, as long as the end of the year we're somehow getting that 180 days, that counts. And I must admit, like, it's crazy. When my brother went to college, his professors literally said homeschoolers were the best students at Arizona Christian University. So my brother literally, he was so encouraged by that. I got so encouraged by that, because they were like, these homeschoolers know how to make schedules like nobody's business. Like, we literally be planning our day out. You guys, I am so persistent in setting my alarms. I know not to overlap my work schedule with my class schedule. I know how to communicate with my professors. So honestly, yeah, like, I don't know, like, it definitely can like depend on your homeschooling background. Maybe your parents were a little bit more flexible than what my mom had been. But overall, like, homeschoolers, we definitely know how to make a good schedule. And even if we're learning, everyone at college is learning. I think that's the biggest thing, is like, people are like, oh, homeschoolers can't do this. But honestly, everybody is navigating life: private school, public school, homeschooled. And so, yeah, so everyone is honestly learning how to make schedules. I help people make with their schedules sometimes. They'll help me if I need something, like, hey, like, I'm trying to squeeze this in, like, how can that work? I still call my mom to ask her, like, hey, I kind of need help with the schedule. So yeah, that is definitely a false misconception we can take on out of there, because it's just like, we do have structure. While it may not look like everybody else's, it's definitely structure. And then also, I will say, even at college, everyone's structure is different. Some people literally, I am the type of person, which is not the most healthiest, I've been told. I will study for 5 hours just to get an assignment done, and I will not take a break until it's done. But people have been saying, like, hey, you need to start taking breaks. But their like study method would be like, study for an hour and then take a break for 30 minutes, then get back in it and then take a break for 30 minutes. And so we have so much structures. So it's crazy how like people saying, oh, homeschoolers have no structure, they're not like the school system. But college is not like the school system either. Like, there's, as long as you get your assignment in before the due date, you could do honestly whatever you want. And so I feel like homeschool actually matches more with the college school, with the college system, more than public school does, just because it's more flexible. It's like, hey, as long as you get your assignment done and show up for class, you're good. I still hope you got a lot from this video, you guys, just because it is so important just to have that extra reassurance and encouragement. And I'm just so excited to be showing with you guys and sharing my testimony, because it has been an amazing journey at college. It has been some ups and downs, but I'm really glad that I was homeschooled and making it. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and if you want to add anything. And yeah, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. All right, bye, guys.